Um, Hi everyone. Sorry I couldn't join you today there. I would have liked to meet a few friends back there, but my traveling plans just couldn't align with the conference, with the meetup. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bogdan Mitrache. I'm leading the advanced installer team. Here we're building uh, the product, mainly product advanced installer, which is a tool used by developers and IT professionals to package any application that you want to deploy on Windows from MSI, MSD's M.A.D, MSIX, and other particularly like patches, merge modules, and so on. And recently, we've also started working on a new tool called Packit, which I'm going to talk a little bit about it later during this talk. Today, I will do a quick presentation which will highlight some entry-level information about digital signing requirements for MSIX, which probably most of you are familiar with it at some level, depending on how much you've tested MSIX or not. I'll do some demos showing some of our free tools. Nick said that the Express Edition, which is a free version of Advanced Installer used for MSIX packaging, is not so well known in that part of the world. So maybe some of you guys will find something useful in this free edition that we've launched together with Microsoft when MSIX got announced 6 years ago. I'll also have a look over Packit and how that can help you, especially service providers, to handle package handover to the end customers, but also help packaging teams internally better manage their packages, no matter the format type. Just to wrap up things, I would like to more kind of explore together with you an option for alternatives to some of the MSIX limitations that we are looking at in advanced installer, similar to some improvements that we've done for AppV back in the days when you needed to install drivers and other dependencies not supported in the AppV package. It's something that we're trying now with advanced installer, and it's interesting to see how people could use it. So first, let's start with some digital signing options. Let me check. So one more time. No messages, right? All good. Perfect. As you probably know, with MSIX, digital signing got brought in at the forefront of your packaging operations, because up until this point you are never forced to digital sign your packages, and 99.99% of the cases the customers that I talked to never signed an MSI or any other kind of package that they deploy in their infrastructure. And with MSIX, that picture is changing, has changed. And you have a few options to sign them and a few new ones starting this year. So the obvious option and the most simple and free one is to generate a self-signed certificate and use that for testing in your packages, or for even deploying those packages internally into your company after you register that certificate on the end user machine and add it as a trusted certificate. Some companies choose to use a certificate bought from a certified vendor, and that's recognized automatically by the operating system, and there's no need to manage that certificate on a machine, but it requires a different level of certificate management when it comes to security. And of course, you need to get approval to buy it and so on. It's not that expensive when you look at the whole cost of the IT operations of a company, but it's a change in your routine. And this is something that developers have been buying for years to sign their packages, but not IT professionals. And another newer option is this option to sign with code signing service hosted in the cloud. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Azure Trusted Signing, which this is a new service launched by Microsoft in general, in public for in general availability for everyone in the spring. And it's something that we've worked together with them to integrate inside Advanced Installer. And now recently you also see a small integration into Packet. But there's also a similar service from DigiCert. I failed to remember its name, and I think it's DigiCert Keychain or something like that. And Tim can tell you that because he used that before Azure Trusted Signing got launched. And probably in the future, there will be other vendors that launch it. The good part about this service is that it starts from only $10 a month, and it's more than enough for what you need to do with that level of subscription. It can be easily added. I've seen people adding it in 5 to 10 minutes in their Azure subscription, because you already are a verified company and partner with Microsoft. Most of you have an Azure subscription, so this is just an additional option in that subscription. It simplifies the security and access management using the role-based access controls that you already know and are familiar from Azure. And when you compare it to buying a certificate, a separate certificate from a certified vendor, is that with Azure Trusted Signing, you basically buy the service that manages the certificate and also the signing, as you'll see later in my demos. And this allows you to create multiple certificate profiles. So you can have one for testing and one for production, or depending on your scenarios, you can have also limit access to those certificate using the support from Azure. So we find it as a liberating way and service that helps not just developers, but also IT professionals to simplify their code signing nightmares, as they were named by some of our users. Okay. And what follows it will be a demo with how you can use this code signing service with Advanced Installer Express Edition. This is a free tool that we've launched together with Microsoft in 2018 when MSIX was announced. It was actually the first tool that could create MSIX packages before the MSIX packaging tool was announced later that year. So for free, you can create packages, MSIX packages from scratch, or convert existing packages from MSIXE to MSIX. We also have a basic PSF integration in the free version where you can fix like working dir or file redirection issues. And we also have some other more advanced features in the paid edition of Advanced Installer. For those of you that are familiar with the tool, from VM integrations, the option to create an MSI or an MSIX from the same project, so you don't do the same work twice, modification packages, and some more automations around fix-ups, especially around VFS redirections, where we've seen files in folders that didn't get a VFS redirection, so we need to handle that, and some other more specific fixes depending on the reports that we got from our users. And in the paid edition of Advanced Installer, you will see something in our digital signing. So basically, Advanced Installer is a competitor to InstallShield. For those of you that don't know, you will need to create a project to create a package, or you just repackage an existing application, or you can edit existing MSI, MSIX packages at Vim. And for MSIX packages, you can see the digital signature page where you can just enable these options and pick whatever method you want for signing. And for trusted signing, you just specify your details. And we handle everything in the background, so we make sure we have the right sign tool. We make sure we make the configuration file, we build it in the background and execute sign tool, and also sign all your files from the package and the package itself. There's also the point of synchronizing the certificate publisher with the publisher from your ID, and this can be done with a click of a button in the paid edition. Now, going back to our Express edition, which is the one that I'm going to show you today here, this requires a little bit more work from you, but it's not that much, and it can free you from using a paid edition if you ever need that. So this is an existing project, but I'm going to create one from scratch. So the Express Edition, you can find the install link on our website, or you can find it in the Microsoft Store. It's available as an MSIX package. And when you launch it, you will see the start page only with this Express section. For me, it also shows different project types because I have a license available on the machine. But if you don't have a license, you'll just see this section here with the Express Edition, and you can create a package either from scratch or convert an existing package and start a repackaging session or an import session. Okay, so I'm going to create an empty project here in this case, and head over directly to the digital signature page. So all you have to do is to enable signing for your package, and the Express Edition is not released monthly as the paid editions of Advanced Installer. So this is, I think it's over 2 years old now, but it contains most of the critical features for MSIX packaging that we know are useful for you guys. And it also allows you to customize things that are not built into our, as they are to our latest version. So for example, for signing, you can use the built-in options, or you can just say, I want to do a custom signing. And at this point, Advanced Installer will ask you to specify, hey, tell me which tool do you want me to use for signing. So I'm going to pick a sign tool that I have available on my machine. And you can also specify the command line. So if I have the correct one, this should be here. Okay, yes. So basically, for those of you that have been evaluating the new trusted support, trusted signing support from Microsoft, you will see that you need a new version of sign tools, some libraries, some Nugget packages, and an updated command line where you also need to create, for which you also need to create a configuration file, which is this metadata JSON file. It's pretty simple file. It looks something like this one. So it basically specifies some details about your certificate, the endpoint and the account name or the certificate profile name and stuff. And none of these are sensitive data. So it's no problem if you store that in the JSON file, or as our case in the paid edition, we just store it plain text in the Advanced Installer, because the authentication part of the authentication process is handled by the operating system. So Advanced Installer never stores any credentials about your Azure session. That's handled automatically, and Sign tool communicates with the operating system to get the authentication token for that. So after I set these command lines and the source files, you also need to make sure that the package publisher, as I said, is synchronized with the one from your certificate. So in the free edition, you have to do this manually. And I have it here in my clipboard if I haven't mixed them up, but not there. It should be here. Okay. Otherwise, you'll get some strange errors about that might mislead you and thinking that you're not authenticated on this machine or something like that. And after you set the publisher and the digital signature, I think we can try a build using our default settings from the package. Demo M.A.D. Okay, let's see. So it's building the MSIX, it's signing whatever files are in a part of the package, and it should also sign the package itself now. Okay, so it says the file sign was signed with my certificate Cathyon, the one that is specified in this metadata JSON file. If I want to change this to my test certificate, which we use for our QA team, all I have to do is to change this in the Express Edition, or in Advanced Installer. I would change this from digital signature page. It will be just here an entry point that would be test ACS. And it would start using a different certificate. So let's try a rebuild here. Let's see. So now first let's check the package. Was it built? Okay, demo for M.A.D. We have this project here, and it was signed with the Cathyon certificate now. This is a trusted certificate that will be overwritten, should be overwritten now. So now if we start the process one more time, rebuild it, can do that. So now it should use the new certificate one for testing, but this is only for testing purposes and it's not trusted on any of the machines. From what I remember, the Azure code signing team said that in the future they will start launching more options to better control the access to these certificates and adapt to more scenarios, more security scenarios. So probably I typed the wrong name, or I code sign test. Yeah, it has the wrong certificate. So as I said, basically this certificate now is using a different publisher name. So if I remember correctly, the name that should be something like this. Let's give it one more try and see if this works. There was a mismatch in the publisher ID from the certificate and the one from this from the package manifest, and the signing process failed. And because I don't have the option to synchronize it manually, I tried to remember that my hand. Yes, it works. So now the package got signed, and if we go check it, it should have the new certificate or not. Am I checking the right package? Let's see which package I'm checking. Yeah, okay, so this is the one that I want. So you can see the certificate got changed now. So that's how easy you can just swap between your certificates and use for testing or whatever protocols you want to use for those certificates that you want to assign with the advanced installer for managing your MSIX packages. So the reason why I wanted to show you a little bit of Express Edition is because I know Nick told me in the past that it helped him in some cases where it was just easier to manage those packages than using the MSIX packaging tool. And because it will always be for free, you can use it and share your feedback if there's something that we can maybe improve and give it for free in the future too. Now back to our topic of signing packages. What I show you there is not very practical from a automation standpoint. So you don't want to edit any package that you have created or give the option to the customer to edit those packages. And let me hide this one. Okay. And accidentally change something in the package or break it somehow because you just wanted to open and edit that package. And for that, we've built a command line tool that helps you control the contents of those of the MSIX packages for different scenarios that you might want. This is actually a fork from a previous tool that we've built for AppV users, where you can automate the editing of packages like adding files, removing files, and setting certain flags in the manifest of the package and so on. And it's just a basic command line tool. When you launch it in your command prompt, you can see the help with some files like you see here a short description of the files, and more information on our website on these commands and how to use it. It is free, and it will always be for free for both of the tools, for AppV and for MSIX. And in this demo, I'm going to show you how to automate the signing of one or multiple packages without having to use advanced installer or MSIX packaging tool. Just use the MSIX trigger with the sign tool. And I've modified the demo a little bit to use the latest version of sign tool, so we can use actually Azure Trusted Signing for this example too. So it's the same configuration file we need to build for our command line to be used. But in this case, let's see where my script is. Let's try to see. I don't know, is this big enough? I hope it's big enough to be seen on the screen for everyone. Okay, perfect. It's a short script, as you can see, 24 lines of code just to execute sign tool and pass him the configuration files, the configuration setting that we want to sign. So sign tool, the execute MSIX tweaker, sorry. So MSIX tweaker will get the package, the MSIX package, will extract its contents, perform the operation that we want. In this case, we just want to sign the package. And this is our command. This is the part where we build the command. We actually build a temporary automation script file that MSIX tweaker will consume at this line where we say, okay, execute this batch commands. And here we set the element from the manifest with the publisher certificate so that we have a match on this side. And then we build the command line for sign tool, the one that I showed you that I placed in the Advanced Installer Express Edition interface. Now I'm just building that from scratch here and passing that to MSIX tweaker. So basically, it would be the command that's highlighted somewhere here. This is the command. And sign, and then you just pass the command line options for sign tool because MSIX tweaker during the signing operation just acts as a stop launcher for sign tool and passes over all that information to sign tool. And before that, we just set the element from the manifest, as I said, with the information that you need. But you can use it for other operations that you need to automate, like adding license files into your packages or other information that you're deleting something from the packages too, if you want to do that. And here I have a folder with two packages. Like one is a small package, like 7, 8 megabytes. Another one is almost 300 megabytes. And depending on the package side, so we'll see two prompts for each packages. You see, my machine is a little bit older and probably running too many things at this time. So if you have more powerful machines, it will it will be much faster or not. I think the package that's consuming now is probably the bigger one, the 300 megabytes. So as I said, it's extracting the package contents, going to perform the operations configured into that script. The signing is pretty fast. So even if it's a web service, it's the time to get a signature from the web server and do that, it's not a problem. So most of the time here is spent with expanding and configuring the packages itself, because Microsoft doesn't send copy of the files to its server for signing them. It just sends digest hashes of those files back to the server for computing the signature and sending that signature information back to sign tool and getting that incorporated into the packages. So all your files and everything stays on your machine. Nothing is sent over the network for the signing operation. The only information that's handled is the authentication and the certificate information. As you see here, it's changed the information from the previous test certificate to my news information about my certificate from our Azure Code signing service. And now the packaging is done. It should be almost done. It will start with the second package, which should be much faster. Let's give it a few more seconds. Let's see if the signature is available here. Not yet. Oops, this wasn't supposed to happen. So something crashed on that package, as usually with the demos. Was it just a console? No, so this one didn't sign. Let's see the second one. This one. Okay, so I'm checking Bogdan demo downloads. Package, these are the packages that should be signed. Let me double check one more time. Our command lines. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't use the test certificate. Let's try this one more time, and this one to make it shorter. Or just sign the small MSIX package. Oh, we'll give it one more try. I don't care about this one anymore. Okay, so now the signature got applied successfully, yeah. So I played around with the certificates and something was a mismatch in my, yeah, of course. The certificate that I had specified here in my script, the certificate publisher, was different from the one of the test certificate that I used. And that's why it was failing, but of course, the command line wasn't giving me the proper information in that case. So this is a little bit tricky when using Azure code signing, and usually code signing in general, the return codes and the error that you get are kind of a headache to debug. But once you get it running, it can be easily automated. So as I said, the tools are free. I'll include the links at the end of the presentation, or you can just search MSIX Tweaker or TweakMSIX online and find them on our website. And amaze us what you can do with them, not just around signing packages, which is the topic of our call today, but also around other automations from your packages, adding files, contents, and so on. Now I'm going to do a quick intro of a new tool that we're working. It's a free tool at the moment. We plan to launch a paid edition in the future, but all the features that are included now are free, and will remain so forever. It's a tool that we envision as a replacement for different processes that we've seen around people handling and documenting packages and package informations in spreadsheets, document Word documents, Jira, and so on, all the way through using scripts to automate the creation of PowerShell wrappers, signing packages, or uploading them to Intune or SCCM. And basically the free edition will include, the tool is called Package, as it's obvious now. It includes options to upload the packages, to find new packages via Winget. In the future, we plan to build our own repository with more information about the packages. You can also find command line switches using the information from Winget, and also easily add a wrapper for those packages too. The next edition will include some paid features like the app assignments and application updates, so you can easily patch applications. And we also have a demo version of support for digital signing for MSIX packages. So the tool looks like this. It manages your packages information inside of a workspace. It's a local project. You don't need a database to configure on your server. You can run this on any Windows machine. Here I'm just going to open a recent workspace from my test. And here I have information about some packages that I played around with. And we have an MSIX package here. for which we want to do the same thing that I've done from the Express edition or from the command line, but maybe you don't use the Express edition, you don't need that, or also and don't want to automate those stuff. So all you have to do is to click this configure digital signing option and use either a certificate from your local machine or configure your signing operations. And here we actually synchronize the certificate information, the publisher name from the certificate we done from the package to get this working. And let's see if it's the correct package that I have. So this is in the downloads folder. It's a different package. Let's have a look at this downloads folder. Okay, so this package should have the test signature. Okay, so this one is already being set to the test signature. Let's reset that and use our official one and resign this package one more time. This is a preview version, so probably changes in the UI will take place and we'll realign some links and stuff, but this is the basic functionality. Let's say you're a service provider, you build the packages and you have some information about the packages that you want to be uploaded into Intune, but also a critical part of those packages is the signature, and you probably use your own test certificate, don't have access to the certificate of your customer, the one that will be used for deploying those packages into production. So an easy way to hand over these packages is to either create a script that I showed you with MSIX Tweaker and just teach the customer how to execute that script and pass its own certificate information, or a more visual way is just to create a workspace with the packages, because this workspace will retain relative information about the packages found next to it or wherever you store those packages. And the customer just opens this workspace, heads over to the package that he wants to sign, configures the information with his own certificate, local or from trusted signing, and after he hits the sign button, we should have a new certificate. Let's see if this is going to be refreshed. Yes, so the package got signed with a new certificate again. And now, after that, I can just go and say, upload this package to Intune. I don't know if I'm authenticated at this point with Intune, so it might fail. The authentication session remains available for as long as the package, package is running. But I'm going to skip this now so we don't pollute our Intune tenant with another test. There are already too many there. And with this tool, you can set the package requirements, and if you have the next version will also include the detection rules for the packages and a lot more other improvements. So depending on your usage scenario, I hope this could help some of you avoid cluttering information and storing this information and complicating your packaging processes and handover processes to the customers using this the free edition. All of these features will be available for free forever. And of course, many more updates will come next year because we have a lot of plans for that tool, not just for MSIX packages, but also for expanding the MSIX support with app attach and M.A.D support. Now that we have new news on LP, maybe we'll add something for LP there too. To be honest, that wasn't on the roadmap, but there are a lot of things that need to be done. Now, before we close this and head over to more questions, okay, let's see if something came up in between. I have one more thing that I want to talk to you. 5 minutes, Philip, sorry. So with MSIX, we know there are limitations around drivers and other machine resources that cannot be installed. And recently we've had a breakthrough using the custom install extension from the package manifest, which is published by Microsoft, but undocumented, unlimited in functionality. But we've managed to use this to install MSI and MSIX packages from inside and MSIX packages. The experience is not one that satisfies me entirely, because basically from what we've noticed, the operating system uses a launcher that installs the package the first time you launch an application from that MSIX that got installed. So it's not actually a package that gets installed together with your MSIX. It's a package that gets installed when the first application from at lunchtime, at runtime, the first time an application from that package is launched. And but the uninstall operation takes place when the package is uninstalled. We foresee some limitations with going to this if you want to build an app attach image, but we haven't done much test in that direction because we still have to do some more testing with regards to local deployment of an MSIX package. One strange scenario that I still fail to encounter is that every time you get the prompt to install an MSI or exe that is added as a dependency in the package, we get a new exe prompt from Microsoft, no matter if that package is installed per user or per machine. So it doesn't, the package type doesn't influence that exe, and that is going to be practically a showstopper for enterprise deployment. We don't know if something will change in that direction or not. But it's something that we're still exploring, because a few years back, we used a similar method for handling app resources. So with Advanced Installer, as I showed you, you have a single project that handles information like files, registry, whatever you have in the package. And if you have drivers, like say in the package, and those are not supported for AppView or MSIX, we have the power to build a separate MSI and include that automatically into your AppView or MSIX package without having you to create the MSI separately, manage the contents of that package. We know to separate this automatically and handle it just as you would build a single project. So it's similar with the solutions that you would build in Visual Studio. You have different projects, you write the code, compile, and put all the things together from a single build operations. You don't have to manually stitch all this stuff together as you would usually do with the AppV in the past. And this is something that we're exploring doing for MSIX too. And it would be nice to hear some feedback from folks that maybe have tried this in the past or have tried similar solutions. We know that we've tried it with using our own launcher to handle this, but because there were no triggers from MSIX that tell us that this is an installation, uninstall, or repair operations, we couldn't do cleanup on uninstall, so we couldn't remove those packages. Using this custom install extension from the M.A.D package manifest, this problem is solved automatically by the operating system. But it depends to see if Microsoft decides to limit it furthermore or to add some improvement that will help the IDE Pro scenarios. And with that, I want to thank you all and pass it over to questions if there are any questions. I hope I didn't went too much over the schedule.
Hey Bogdan, thank you for joining. Thank you for the presentation. And just look into the room, any questions? There was... happy. No questions so far. So I would say thank you, Bogdan. We can do a follow-up later, but thank you very much for joining.
It was great being part of your meetup. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great team.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.